Thank you. Representative Nunn.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm impressed that today's hearing is called Lies, Lawfare, and Leverage, How the CCP is Gaslighting and Manipulating a Marginalized Taiwan. And after the opening conversation today, I think it's been more a focus on the U.S. commitment to Taiwan than talking about the greatest threat Taiwan faces. So I'd like to ask each member of the panel, starting with you, Mr. Koo, who would you see today as Taiwan's greatest allied nation, and who would you see as Taiwan's greatest national threat?
Well, obviously, the most important ally for Taiwan is the United States, and I think it will always be a foreseeable future.
Who do you see as the most adversarial to Taiwan's independence?
Right, and the People's Republic of China is the greatest threat.
Ms. Khan?
The United States is the strongest partner of Taiwan. In fact, just last year, Taiwan exported more to the United States than China for the first time in 26 years.
That's a move in the right direction. Who would you see as their greatest adversary?
Taiwan needs to be clear that Taiwan only has one adversary, and that is China.
I would agree. Doctor?
Taiwan's single threat and adversary is the People's Republic of China, and Taiwan's most important partner is the United States, and we're all grateful to Congress's commitment to keep it that way.
And I concur. Congress helped forge this alliance, and it is an alliance that Congress must help continue to move forward on behalf of not just two great countries, but on behalf of a shared history of both the American and Taiwanese people. When the CCP has the ability to challenge Taiwan, it's not just in the kinetic space, it's in the non-kinetic space. When I served in the U.S. Air Force and flew operations and took action here, we saw directly what the Chinese were capable of, and it wasn't just what they could fly against us, it's how they operated from everything from the internet to communications. In one such event, we ran a counter-information operation against the Chinese, where the Chinese specifically targeted Taiwanese pineapple growers. They did it on the verge of an election. The entire intent was to punish ag producers in Taiwan in the lead up to prefecture elections. And they sanctioned those same growers, and as a result, guess what happened? Local elected leaders found themselves only winning if they were in support of mainland China. This is a threat that means China has the capability right now to take Taiwan without even a shot being fired. Dr. Rapp-Hooper, you talked about the economic side of this. Is the Taiwanese pineapple farmer an anomaly or a reality?
Congressman, thanks for the question. I think what you're pointing to is something very significant indeed, and that is the PRC's ability not only to use economic coercion against Taiwan, but to use it on a targeted basis. In several election rounds running, we've seen the PRC target districts that were DPP strongholds, as you're indicating, with the intent of throwing support to the KMT. That's not only economic coercion, it's election interference, right? So we should help Taiwan to fashion strategies against that. And in part because Taiwan is extremely dependent on its agricultural exports, I fear that threat to Taiwan is a reality.
Absolutely agree.
But one factual basis on which I will state a small quibble, and that is the fact that the PRC has the ability to take Taiwan right now without firing a shot. I actually think that what we see is public opinion on Taiwan that has been remarkably resilient, that understands the Chinese threat against Taiwan and against Taiwan's economy, that does not wish to submit to the PRC, that wants the United States to remain a strong and enduring partner, and that wants more partnerships to help support it as well. So I think our mandate is to support the resolve of the Taiwan people,
Totally
as well
agree.
as our partnership with
And
Taipei.
with the time I have remaining, I would agree with you on this. I want to keep it in that boat.
Thank
It's
you.
one of the reasons that we've led on, specifically my bill, H.R. 4860, the U.S.-Taiwan Defense Innovation Effort, so that we don't have to engage in a kinetic war. We can do this on the tech level to prevent it from even getting to that point. This bill would drive forward coordination on artificial intelligence, ISR technologies, and counter CCP maligned influence. It also builds on an amendment that we already had passed, my leadership on the NDAA, to get a forward operating base for the Defense Innovation Unit, one of America's premier commercial sector, private partner, and defense sectors to be led. Last year, we worked in a bipartisan way to to increase DIU's funding to nearly $1 billion. And let me make sure my quote here is correct, a 563% increase, providing frontline assistance here. Ms. Khan, I know you've worked in this area as well. With my few seconds remaining here, would this help with shared technology as we lead a bipartisan delegation to Taiwan this April?
The talk about defense innovation is critical, and it's critical for the United States with leadership such as yours to show Taiwan that the fast-changing technology in the world today is what Taiwan's opposition parties cannot ignore. And that's why they need to support the increase in defense spending, because there are military-industrial collaborations.
Thank you very much. I yield my time.